going to have to answer a lot of questions, and I thought we did that for a lot of it. Boys put in a big effort and really desperate to win the game today. To go up, to come back, similar to last week, and be pegged back, to then go again. It was so delighted for Ben. He's to come on and have a moment like that. It's a huge moment for us all, but for Benji getting that goal in front of the Stretford end, there's not many better places, if there's not a better place for me, to win a game of football like that.
There's no doubt there was talent here. What's changed since Michael Carrick's come in?
Obviously, as you can see, that improvement just changed by the being compact, being the in every single moment, not letting everything go through the middle, and that helps us a lot. And you can also see that it benefits on results, and especially when we can take the ball, so we can go in front.
The story of the game, in my opinion, started with that first goal from Man United that started from a terrible decision from John Brooks, that penalty that was given, completely bad decision from him. I understand that they are saying completely different things, but all the feeling that we have, our players, people that was watching the game, the penalty was given by the tackle, definitely.
So do you feel they've re-refereed that moment?
That is my feeling, definitely was. And after the feedback that I got from the fourth official, that the referee will come to the screen, and after suddenly they changed completely the decision, and they gave a free kick. Okay, we have to accept, even if my opinion is difficult to accept, you have to accept.
OK, let's deal with this first of all. So Marco Silva's opinion was that the penalty was given for the tackle, for the slide tackle, where he actually got the ball. Now, we are told that the communication between the referee and the VAR official was all about the pull. And if we follow that, then they've done this correctly, if that was the conversation on the pull.
Yeah, and at the start, let's talk about really good player from Cunha, and then Quaker will say he's done well. But again, as an attacking player, when you're pulling me back, it slows me down here, it being Cunha, to allow you to get back. If he doesn't pull, Cunha's away from him. So I think ultimately becomes the right decision. The biggest issue I have with all of this is the way that Fulham celebrated this, high-fiving and not doing their jobs. The danger's there. Again, they give a good decision here because it's outside the box. But at this moment now, Jimenez, I've been in this position. You see Casemiro, you know he's good. You're the last man in the zone. You've got to block him. He's making his way out towards the other end, and Casemiro comes in and just crashes another goal for Man United.
Because just to clear that up, because they were looking at the pull, that means they could then say, no, it was outside the area, and give it as a free kick. That's why they've followed that. Marco Silva is saying if they were looking at the tackle and not the pull, then that's a different matter, and it would have been a drop ball, and it would have been...
That's his argument.
That's his argument.
We don't know what he's been told.
No.
As far as
we are told that all the communication was on the pull.
So they got it right.
OK. Let's move on to the game itself. This may be an unpopular opinion, but are Manchester United going to miss Casemiro?
Yes, I think they will, because, well, first and foremost, form is temporary, class is permanent. He has had some bad spells, but this is a highly intelligent footballer who knows what he's doing and has been around the block. And today, when United were struggling a little bit, he was the calm one. He was the one making things happen, and also doing the little bits of quality defensive work that you should be doing when you play in these defensive areas. We can see here, reading situations, protecting the ball. If you play him in the right formation with the right people around him, which sounds really obvious, by the way, but not everyone's done that recently. Little tackles like that, you're going to get the best out of him. Now, we know he knows how to snuff out danger, but the calmness on the ball is something we know he's good at as well. But today especially, those pivotal moments in attacking areas were so important, because United weren't as good as they were in the last 2 weeks. That's a phenomenal header, irrelevant of how it's come about. It's a brilliant header. And his confidence was growing. He was spraying it about, dictating the play, and as I said, in a game where they needed someone to step up, because Bruno wasn't at it today, to be honest, unlike him, because he's been outstanding. He stepped up and he started dictating things, and he had the two really important moments for United to get them up in this game and give them the platform to go on and win it. Just there, spotting the danger, doesn't stop and admire it, and when he gets into these positions here, he's got this capability, that clever little pass. Good finish from Matheus Cunha. And then we'll see here on the slow-mo...
This is a great angle.
Yeah, the old look away. Everyone loves that one. Well, not everyone. I've had coaches in the past tell me not to do that. But that's
Why? Why would you not want to do
I think
that?
when you're young, you get told because you're taking the mickey or you're thinking you're better than you are. You know, he's earned the right, hasn't he? But he was outstanding, and I think even though he said he's leaving, he still wants to give everything for the club and get his team in the top four, and they'll be able to rely on him from now to the end of the season.
We'll look at the bigger picture of what both teams did well or badly in a moment. But as far as the winning goal is concerned, you can both credit United and criticise Fulham, can you?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I to take this first one here, just look at this from a Fulham point of view. Bruno Fernandes looked, Bassi could see him. Bassi now tries to get tight. For me, as a player, and Daddy will tell you this about, you've got to put him in the stand at this point. Take the yellow card, nothing happens.
Or maybe just pull him over.
Yeah, Anderson leaving his leg back there. I never knew Daddy Murphy never made tackles. But at this point now, let's look at it from a Banjamen Sesko point of view. Again, really good play. He's on the move. It's not a great run. This touch is really important because there's nowhere else he can put it after that. Kills the ball in front of him and just see his body can't turn fully, so it's a wonderful hit. And then just to think of where he's been, 2 in 17 under Amorim and now 4 in 4 since Amorim's left. And he hasn't started the last 2 games, so it's really great for him and really great for Man United.
Also, as well, you know the attitude of the lads who come on who haven't been playing. I think it was Cunha who's come off the bench and scored. Sesko. I mean, that takes good management to keep the players on board and motivated in that respect.
It was a different type of challenge for them, wasn't it, today? As everybody has said in the build-up, it's different to the City and Arsenal games for United. Fulham did cause them problems. United were probably, the least impressive of their 3 so far under Carrick?
Yeah, I think so. Fulham were really good, deserve some credit. I thought United got caught in between a little bit. The last 2 games, they've been able to sit in and counter and then press on the odd occasion they're set. Today, I think sometimes they went to press, sometimes they were a bit, should we drop off? And they got played through a bit too often in the first half. They were better in the second half until Casemiro went off. They lost a bit of composure when they brought him off. But sometimes it doesn't matter how you win. Keep the momentum going, keep the confidence going and keep the buzz with the fans going.
But then from a Fulham point of view, if they can finally ever get a striker or a couple that can score consistently, they're so good going forward. Just that last little bit of quality, they'd be right up there. They're only 6 points off where Man United are now. So I think they can look at it with some positives as well. But a little bit more investment, they could be right up there.
Like Michael Carrick was saying before this game, how Banjamen Sesko, who just got before today 4 goals in the Premier League, have been doing extra sessions, extra finishing work. So how pleased as a goal scorer, knowing that and the difficult start he's had coming to this country in this league, for him to do what he did today.
Yeah, lovely moment for him, lovely moment obviously for Manchester United and the fans and everybody else. But this is a real quality finish. Great first touch, takes it away from danger. You know, he actually comes back a little bit, takes it away and then swivels, spins and finishes it right into the corner. He actually uses the defender to curl it round. And unless you're not a Manchester United, I think every neutral would have loved to see that. I mean, it's not easy for somebody to come from abroad, all that money, all that pressure. It's one of the most pressurised positions in the game of football. And to see someone struggle, it's not nice. I mean, Højlund before him, I didn't enjoy seeing him struggle. I felt it hard to criticise any of his performance because it's really, really difficult. The advantage he's got now, he's got the likes of Cunha, the likes of Fernandes, the likes of Mbeumo around him. This is a team that are actually building and creating chances and everything else like that. So, no, I don't think he's the answer. No, I don't think he's the long-term solution. But he still can have a big part, and if it means coming off the bench and scoring a goal like today, then fantastic. So yeah, I was delighted for him today because, as I say, it's nice to see youngsters like that coming into a new country and doing well.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you see young players go overseas, and it's harder than we anticipate. Me just moving home from Birmingham up north to Liverpool was tough. So to move different countries, I don't know how difficult that's been for him at a young age. But yeah, again, someone that's resilient and willing to put the work in, as Michael said about on the training ground. You want them to do well because when they're putting that much effort into their profession, it's only going to become a matter of time where they reap the benefits of that, and today was one of them occasions.
And he seems to be one of many enjoying the environment since old manager departed, because he only scored twice under Ruben Amorim per se. He scored 3 times in the games since Ruben Amorim has disappeared. And obviously the way the team are playing and creating more chances will play a part. But just the feel-good confidence culture around the club, if you like.
It's incredible, isn't it? You know what? We'll look at it in 3, 4, 5 more games' time and say every player's playing better. And you often get that. It's quite rare that 1 or 2 players will play better for the new manager and everybody else poorly. I mean, you either get a huge lift or, you know, it's a team game. Everyone comes up together or goes down together. And once you're playing well, once there's more chances, once there's more possession, once, you know, the crowd are behind you and your manager loves you and everything's going well, then everybody plays a little bit better. So this might be the perfect thing for him as well. We've seen it with a few players that have started so far under Michael Carrick, but it's been quite a settled team. There's only been 1, maybe 2 changes. Dorgu obviously getting injured, with Cunha coming back in. But I guess that the whole squad will be improving behind the scenes, and if there's changes to be made in the future, you'll probably see the likes of Mason Mount and people like that starting to have a bigger influence. So, yeah, the whole club is on a high at the moment.
Yeah, he's had 6 games now in the 2 spells, 5 wins and a draw, so he's yet to taste defeat in that technical area. But in terms of these 3, the first 2, everybody said were difficult games, suited United on the counter-attack. He's right, they did have questions to ask there. Today was different, wasn't it, against that Fulham team? It was
always going to be. And like you said, they answered them for the majority of the game. Yes, Fulham deserved to get back into it, but they got the job done and got it over the line. And the feel of the club and the connection between the fans seems to be there again. I think the fans wanted the team to do well when Amorim was in charge, but I think they want Michael Carrick to do well. And that's the difference. I think everyone now is, when you see the celebrations of the goal, yes, it's because it's a last-minute winner, but I think they want each other to do well. I don't think that togetherness seemed like it was everyone was part of that. I think now, when Michael Carrick references the subs, the staff, everyone was happy for Sesko, and I think that's the difference now.
And even at 2-0, they were trying to score a third. In fact, Sesko probably should have scored a third and put it to bed. He hit the post not long after coming off. And that was the big complaint from Ruben Amorim's time with the fans. They go 1-0 up, bring on 2 defenders and protect the 1-0 lead, and that wasn't the Manchester United way.
Yeah, and that's a little bit of scarring, maybe, from previous experiences, scoring a goal and all of a sudden you might panic, you've got something, hold on to it. Nature says, or your mind naturally says, when you've got something, you hold on to it. Retreating and keeping hold of it, going back home is safe. And it's quite the contrary. Obviously, Manchester United over the years have gone to get the second goal and the third goal. And I was watching the game, even at 1-0 they scored, and they were still going forward, and they scored the second, still going forward. And I think that's a positive, because, you know, scoring a goal and immediately retreating is a bad habit to get into. I've been in teams that have done that as well. So I think that's a good habit. And of course, the manager can always change things with 20 minutes to go to shore things up. And that sends a message, OK, now we're going to be, you know, in defensive mode, maybe on counter-attack mode. But no, throughout the game, even though they conceded 1 or 2 goals, they were on the front foot looking to score, and that was, you know, that's Manchester United. And to progress, you've got to score goals. You know, you've got to really create chances, score multiple goals. Don't rely on defending and nicking games 1-0. This is the way forward, and it's looking good so far.
Spurs next at Old Trafford next Saturday. How different a place now is Old Trafford to visit as an opposing player than it was 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Very different. Again, the fans are going there with a belief, not a hope they're going to win. They believe they're going to win. Yes, they would have expected to beat Fulham under any manager, but now they're going there with a genuine belief they're going to win and going to be entertained and excited. And that's a tough place to go when it is like that. Obviously, Spurs, Man United is always an exciting game, but obviously the connection now that they all have together, I think it's a lot more daunting for the opposition teams.
And when you're somebody like Michael and his staff who've gone in and tweaked this and tweaked that, and then you beat City and beat Arsenal and come back to beat Fulham, from a player's point of view, how crucial is that when you're giving them new ideas and new information?
You believe everything then, don't you? And listen, Manchester United players, that has been one depressing dressing room for years and years and years. They know that lots is expected of them. They've not delivered for a long, long time. It must have been awful, you know, for as long as I can remember. And, you know, as I say, in the last decade, it must have been a really horrible dressing room to be in. Now, all of a sudden, they'll be floating into training. Absolutely floating. Whatever the manager says, it's gospel. They're enjoying it. There'll be a smile on their face. You know, it'll all come easy. It's just a little bit of confidence, a little bit of tweaking here or there. It's just an incredible thing. And yeah, I think the performances is what I've been interested in most and what I'd be positive most. Yes, results, but performances in the long run are going to get you the results.
OK, let's remind you how the Premier League table looks then, with one more game to go this weekend. That, of course, is Burnley's trip to Sunderland, who, of course, are unbeaten at home this season. So West Ham end the weekend 6 points adrift of Nottingham Forest and Leeds on 26 points. They meet each other, incidentally, next Friday night. Palace and Spurs up to 29th in 14 and 15th, respectively. And this screenshot looks very nice, doesn't it, for Arsenal fans? 24 played, 6 clear of City, 7 clear of Aston Villa. Arsenal the big winners this weekend. United, Chelsea and Liverpool and Brentford all won, but Manchester United, on the back of that third consecutive win under Michael Carrick, finished the weekend in the top 4 in those Champions League places. Well, thanks to Michael and to Jolien. Another big weekend, particularly at the top of the Premier League, where quite clearly Arsenal are the huge winners. From the three of us, we'll see you soon.